There's not a whole lot of information regarding the escalation of the First Contact War. It is mostly utilised within the games as a minor piece of world building meant to establish the tense social and political standing of the Systems Alliance amongst the galactic community. But what if it weren't that simple? As discussed in the latest episode in this series, the First Contact War was essentially a sequence of misunderstandings and blunders from both parties involved. But I've often wondered, given the uncertainty behind the cause of hostilities and the somewhat questionable motivations behind the leadership of the Turian forces, should the incident have arisen at all? This is part 5 of the history of the Systems Alliance, where we will try to further break down the complex circumstances surrounding humanity's first encounter with an intelligent alien civilization, and hopefully answer the question, could the First Contact War have been avoided? In order to start unravelling this question, we must first establish why there was even a need for hostilities to begin with, and to understand that, we need to go back in time, to when the Roman Empire was still being ruled by its founding emperor. Whilst Octavian Augustus Caesar was ironically ushering in an unprecedented era of peace for ancient Europeans, the Citadel Council were effectively inciting their very own First Contact War. In the year CE 1, the practice of activating dormant mass relays was still highly unregulated within Council space. Not that there wasn't any form of procedure, it just wasn't considered to be a dangerous pursuit at the time, or at least not one which presented dangers too difficult for the Council to handle. In fact, given the alarming rate at which the Council was losing regions of the galaxy to worlds choosing the autonomy of the Terminus systems, exploration was openly encouraged. That was, however, until a team of Solarian explorers would vanish sometime that year without a trace, not long after activating a relay that connected to a vast and unexplored area of the galaxy. Though the Solarian explorers would never be heard from again, it wasn't long before the Council learned of the cause of their disappearance: first contact with an aggressive insect-like species known as the Rachni. This would lead to a conflict lasting over 3 centuries, resulting in a near-catastrophic spread of the Rachni throughout the galaxy. It would have been disastrous were it not for the drastic measure of arming and uplifting the Krogan to fight and eradicate them, an action which also had an adverse trickle-on effect of its own. In essence, this seemingly menial action of activating a dormant relay caused centuries of strife for the Citadel, leading the Council to re-evaluate its policies on dormant relay activation. The details of said policies are scant, but what is important to note is the severely illegal status of the newly founded law were it to be broken. Activation of relays that link to unexplored territory was now expressly forbidden, unless performed meticulously by the Council itself, and any unsanctioned attempts were to be dealt with swiftly.